A young man learns his punishment for killing his aunt with a kitchen knife. The crime that happened 5 years ago south of Chandler when he was just 14 years old. Today, a judge sentenced the man to 13 years in prison. During an emotional hearing full of dramatic testimony, this case has the family now divided. Fox 10's Brian Webb has the day's courtroom developments.
Eris Adel is now 20 years old and married and could have spent the next 25 years behind bars, but the judge showed leniency today, nearly cutting the maximum sentence in half.
I waited 5 years for this moment.
Family and friends unleash emotions on Eris Adel, sitting silent and still in a jumpsuit and shackles.
She was taken away in a place where she thought she was going to be safe. This is not fair. He has no right to do this.
Adel is already convicted of killing his aunt, 42-year-old Tanya Harper, in Sun Lakes in 2019, slitting her throat with a kitchen knife while she slept after cutting phone lines and hiding cell phones so she couldn't call for help. Her final words, "I think Eris did it." This is video from the hospital that day.
She's coming. They're all going to come over here.
Eris cut through several layers of skin, tissue, blood vessels, and a main artery almost to Tanya's bone. This was not an accident.
But the other side of the family has a different take, blaming Adel's poor mental health for the murder.
I just feel like there's more mental issues that were not considered, and I feel like there's a different place for him rather than a prison.
Something happened. I don't know how to explain it. Mental illness run through the maternal side of the family.
I married him with my choice for a reason. After he told me, even if he didn't tell me. This is not a monster.
After his 13-year sentence, Eris Adel spoke to both sides of his divided family.
I never wanted to hurt anyone in the family. I just made a mistake and I couldn't control it. I wanted everybody to know that this is serious and that just because I couldn't say sorry doesn't mean I wasn't saying sorry every single day and every single night that I was crying and thinking about what happened.
In the end, the judge cited poor mental health and the young age for his lower sentence today. In Phoenix, Brian Webb, Fox 10 News.
Lori Vallow, the woman convicted in the murder of her two youngest children, has been found competent to stand trial here in Arizona. Two court-appointed doctors determined that Vallow is mentally competent. Vallow faces charges in Arizona for conspiring to kill her ex-husband Charles Daybell in Chandler back in 2019. Vallow has insisted on representing herself. There is a status conference tomorrow to determine whether her trial could start as early as next February. Updating a story that we first brought you last night at 6, a Goodyear man accused of sexually assaulting and beating a woman outside a Target store is booked into jail on felony charges. We do want to warn you, these details are graphic. Fox 10's Christina Carilla has the latest tonight.
Police say 30-year-old Zachary Omperon contacted a woman on an online escort dating site on November 12th. They say she agreed to a quick visit for $80. Investigators say the two met up early that morning in the parking lot of a Target store in Goodyear near Cotton Lane and Yuma Road. After getting into her car, police say Omperon forced himself onto her, sexually assaulting her. Detectives say she told him to stop, but he wouldn't. As the woman fought back, officers say he repeatedly choked and punched her. She was eventually able to get away. A friend took her to the hospital where doctors say she had major injuries to her face and mouth and redness on her neck. Police took Omperon into custody on Wednesday. A judge set bond at $250,000 and ordered the father of 3 young children to not have any contact with minors as part of his release conditions if he bails out of jail.
Did you say how much was the bond, ma'am?
It's $250,000 secured appearance.
Well, why am I not allowed to have any contact with children?
The allegations in the Form 4 are that you made statements on a recorded phone call with the police that you were wanting to engage the alleged victim in this case with assistance in sexually abusing your stepdaughter as well. And so that's why I'm ordering at this time that you're not to have contact with any minors.
Well, because I had told the judges I don't even have a stepdaughter. I made it up.
Okay. Even if that were true, the allegation that that was then some sort of fantasy of yours still makes this court feel at this juncture that it's not appropriate for you to have contact with minors.
Police say Ampron is a self-proclaimed sex addict and has been violent to sex workers on a frequent basis. They say he's targeted victims at random and is a danger to the public. Ampron has been booked on 5 felony counts, including sexual assault and aggravated assault. Christina Carilla, Fox 10 News.
Misdemeanor charges are now dropped against 3 of the 6 men accused of assaulting former Arizona Coyotes hockey player Paul Bissonnette at a restaurant in Scottsdale. That's because the Scottsdale City Attorney is referring those cases, the 3 of them, to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for further review to see if the men should be charged with more serious counts, including felonies. Those 3 men are Danny Bradley, Henry Mesker, and John Carroll. New court documents show Bradley was the main aggressor and was the first to attack Bissonnette last month at Houston's restaurant, resulting in serious injuries. The documents also say Bissonnette was being held down at one point by another suspect as Bradley punched him multiple times. Bradley's green shirt and mugshot are what an employee at Raven Country Club in Phoenix recognized immediately. On Tuesday, we interviewed that young man named Carter. He says Danny Bradley attacked him the same night, about an hour earlier at the country club before the attack in Scottsdale. Carter got a black eye and his jaw was hurt. So far, 1 suspect in the Scottsdale case has been charged with a felony. Sean Daly lives in Texas, and a judge told him he must appear in person at his court date in Phoenix next week. In West Phoenix today, a woman comes to the rescue after a driver ends up in a canal with her 4 young children inside the car. The car started to fill up with water this afternoon near 93rd Avenue and McDowell. And a woman who lives nearby says that she was just taking the trash out at her apartment complex when she heard the commotion. Well, she jumped the fence and she saw the mother holding her baby out the window. That Good Samaritan jumped into that water and swam to the car, helping everyone get out safely.
She just already had the baby out the window. Like, I have 4 babies in here, and I'm like, I can do 1 at a time. She's like, the water is filling up fast. I don't know what I'm going to do. No one had rope, and everyone was just kind of shocked. And my first instinct was just to jump in there. We just worked as a team to try to get all 4 kids out. Kids are good with mom now, and everything's a happy ending. I just felt like I could have did more, but you live and you learn. I got to take swimming lessons again.
Wow, thank goodness she was there and those other Good Samaritans helped out. Police and firefighters were able to help everyone get out of the water, and thankfully no one was hurt. A brief tsunami warning for much of Northern California has now been lifted after a powerful earthquake off the coast. That magnitude 7 quake struck this morning west of Ferndale in Humboldt County. That is south of Eureka and about 130 miles south of the Oregon border. After that quake hit, a lot of people got tsunami alerts on their phones warning of potential dangerous waves. People were told to get away from the coast, off the beaches, and head inland. The San Francisco Zoo was even evacuated, and BART suspended service in an underwater tunnel from the city to Oakland. There are no reports of injuries or major damage as a result, but this was the scene in downtown Ferndale where the intense shaking damaged a door at the Victorian Inn and sent bottles flying at the hotel bar. This video was taken by Caroline Titus, the editor of the Ferndale Enterprise newspaper. She says she also saw items knocked off the shelves at a grocery store, and she says when she was home, that's when the shaking started.
Went downtown to just see if there was any damage, and usually there are plate glass windows out. There were none. It was amazing. I've lived through 35 years of quakes up here in Northern California, and very little damage, structural damage. Obviously, lots of things off store shelves. Everybody's like, okay, here we go again, got to clean it all up.